Happy Sunday, everybody. I wanted to take some time today and talk a little bit more about albino and what that word means. So if you look back on the previous post that I did, I talked about the differences between albino and albinism. And I talked about how I view albino as more of a adjective, as a descriptor, not necessarily a name that would be from a noun, because nouns name persons, places, and things and ideas. And I said that I don't think that my name is albino. Being an albino is a part of who I am, but it's not all that I am. And there are many parts of me. I'm a sister, I'm an aunt, I'm a friend. There's so much to Janessa, but as a whole, my name is Janessa. So I don't necessarily associate the word albino with naming me. It is a part of me. It's something that gives me some distinction, but it's not all of who I am. So that's just my own theology on it. Okay. And then albinism is just naming our condition. It gives a name to the type of condition we have. And the root word of albinism is albus. It comes from the Latin word and it means white. So those who have albinism, we have white skin, we have no melanin in our hair, skin, and eyes, and that no melanin causes us to have white skin. It causes us to have different shades of white blonde hair. It causes us to have low vision. So I wanted to get into the word albino because a few people they were discussing how they don't like to be called an albino, and I wanted to write it in the post, but I didn't want it to be so lengthy that y'all are like, she writing too much, let me just scroll on past. So I decided to just make a video because I feel like I can speak much better and clearer if I'm talking to you all. To me personally, I prefer to write. I don't think I speak that well because sometimes I can just go. I can talk. So I prefer to write, but with sensitive subjects like this, I said, okay, I need to do a video because I want them to really understand what I'm going to say. So the reason that some people don't want to be called an albino is because some of y'all bullied us. Let's just keep it real. Some people bullied us. I won't say everybody did, but there were some who bullied us and made us feel like we were the scum of the earth because of our skin, because of the way that our eyes would shake or cross, or because of the color of our hair. Like someone was saying the other day about them telling their daughter she didn't have any eyebrows. And this is in school. That type of stuff. We were bullied. Some are still being bullied. The word albino is just meant to describe a person who has albinism, but instead that word was taken to be negative. It was taken to be a weapon that would mutilate us and cause us to feel like we didn't belong with anybody else because we didn't look like everybody else. It caused us, especially for those of us in the Black community, to feel like we weren't black enough, or we weren't melanated enough, or we weren't cute enough, or we weren't this enough, we weren't that enough. We were talked about the way that we looked, and oh, she's just so white, and she's just so this, and she's just so that. And you might say, well, I really didn't mean anything by it. I was just joking. I was just playing. But it's easy for you to joke and play when it's not you. You never know how a person is going to take something. And until you're in that person's shoes, dealing with what they deal with, then you'll see if that joke is really funny, or if what you're playing about is really something that you should play about. And, you know, I joke around. I play a lot. I'm not going to make it seem like I'm serious all the time. Yes, as anybody who really knows me, I love to joke. I love to laugh. I love to play. I cannot have one day where I'm just 100% serious. I have to be laughing about something. I have to be joking about something. I have to be doing something. But one thing I always try to make sure that I'm doing is being mindful of other people. So I try not to talk about the way people look or the way people act, because you never know. Even with the memes and stuff on Facebook. Yeah, I used to laugh at that stuff with the, oh, she's shaped this way and she's shaped that way, and, you know, talking about that. But then, you know, one day I had to sit back and look. Why do you think that person's body is that way? Why do you think that person thinks that way? Why do you think they're where they are right now? It's funny and it's shareable on social media, but what about the person who's been used as the meme? What about the person that's being used to talk about? It's funny to you, but you don't know how they feel. So it's the same way with the word albino. That word has been taken to cause those who have it to feel like we are just nothing. Oh, that albino girl, that albino boy, oh, they can't do this, or they can't do that. Just mean things have been said. Even looking on Twitter, whenever I research the word albino, I still see rude, negative things being said even on there about us. And we have all this awareness going on and people still don't care. They're still being mean. Still talking about us for the way that our features are. Still talking about us. Oh, you don't look like your mama. You don't look like your daddy. You're a ghost. You're whitey. You're this. You're that. If I have given you the permission to say that, that's one thing. But for you to just say it because you feel like that's all there is to being a person with albinism, that's totally off. Some people have been bullied to the point of tears. They, like me, like I said in my story, I experienced it. That's why I tell y'all I don't talk about albinism from an objective point of view. No, I lived through this bullying thing. I had people come up to me and talk about me for the way that I looked and use the word albino. Oh, she an albino, that's why her eyes move like that. Oh, she an albino, that's why her eyes cross like that. Oh, she an albino, so she can't see that good. I'm telling you. It happened to me. So I'm not just sitting here talking just to talk. I know what I'm talking about. And because of those things that were said to me, it made me not want to be an albino. So that's why I talked about how I used to go to the 99-cent store trying to buy the tanning lotion so I could turn my skin darker. That's why I talk about the nights and stuff that I would cry and pray to God and beg for him to straighten out my eyes and help me to see better so that I wouldn't be talked about anymore. They were selfish prayers because it was all about me. God, I don't want to be bullied no more. So make me look approvable so that way those who talk about me will approve of this new look. I used to try to sit outside and tan so my skin would be darker, getting sunburned, all for the sake of people and what they were saying and how they felt I should look. But it took God to go on the inside of me. Like my mother told me, what if God does do that for you? What if he gives you that skin color, that darker skin color? What if he gives you that fantastic eyesight? What if he gives you all of that stuff you're asking for? What will you benefit from it? Because then, you know what? When you get that, it's going to be something else that these people are going to say about you, and it's going to be negative. And then you're going to be back at square one, hating yourself, wanting to be different, wanting to change, back at low self-esteem. Your identity is in God. It's not in people. That's a whole nother thing. Don't let me get off, but that's just what God told me. That's how I learned, and that's how I am where I am today. That's why I do what I do. But I'm just trying to help y'all understand that there are some people who are not at that level yet. And even some people who are at that level, they still don't want to be called an albino because of the way that the word is used. Some would rather be called a person with albinism. I'm a person with a condition. And although I don't mind being called an albino anymore, whatever you feel about the word, whatever you say about the word, that's up to you. Because I know, first of all, what the word truly means. And secondly, I know who I am. I know why I have this, and I know why God created me this way. I don't care what you have to say. So you can call me an albino, or you can call me a person with albinism. It doesn't care. You can call me whatever. It doesn't bother me. But for some people, they just would rather to be referred to as a person with albinism. Then you have some like me who don't mind being called an albino. It's just either or with some. What you all need to know is that you just have to be careful with how you address it. If someone says that they don't mind being called an albino, then call them that. Just make sure you're not doing it in a bullying, negative, derogatory way. If they want to be called a person with albinism, respect them with that. Even me as an albino, I respect other people who don't want to be referred to as an albino. That's why sometimes you'll see me on here, I'll say albinos or people with albinism, because I'm appealing to both types that people would like to be referred to. I'm just not, oh, you need to be called an albino, get over the fact that no. It's not me. I try to appease both sides. So if you want to be called an albino, you're an albino. If you want to be called a person with albinism, you're a person with albinism. It doesn't make any difference to me because I understand why some people don't want to be associated with the word. I really do. And that is why the cycle of misunderstanding about the word has spread throughout society, because people have turned their word into something that it's not. It does not mean anything negative about anybody that has albinism. But unfortunately, as we typically do, as humans, we take things, and when we want to be mean, we are mean, and we'll take words, we'll spin them into our own little twisted way of thinking, and then we'll spew it out and pass that out as what it is when it's not even that. So be aware of that. That's why some don't want to be called an albino, because unfortunately that word, it means some heavy stuff for some people, and I understand it totally. I remember the day, and I pray I never forget the days and the nights that I experienced those same feelings, because it took God, like I said, to really help me get to where I am today, where I can even sit and talk about it. If you've never been bullied, you might not ever understand it. But if you know what I'm talking about, maybe you don't have albinism, but maybe you were bullied about something else, you know where I'm coming from. And so if you've been bullied before, just try not to do it to other people, okay? Try to be nice. Try to be fair. No, we're not always going to make the right choices. Yes, I have made mistakes. Yes, I have incorrectly judged people. Yes, I have incorrectly said things. So I'm not sitting here like I'm perfect Pam and I have done no wrong. I have. But always try to make sure that you go back and you ask for forgiveness, and then you sit back and you say, well, is this right? Is this something that I should be laughing at? Is this something that I should share on my Facebook page? Is this something I should tweet about? Is this something I should post about on Instagram? Is this something that I should pass around in the office at work? Just try to think about those things, because it helps. And then people can hear too. They can hear when you're saying things about them. They can hear when you're talking about them. It's a lot. So just try to be aware of that and understand us, and understand why some don't want to be associated with their word. I thank God for deliverance, though. I thank God for deliverance from low self-esteem. I thank him for showing me who I am in him. I thank him for Genesis 1:31, which says that after God created all things, he declared them to be good. And so because God created me, when he looked at me and every other person with albinism, he said that we were good, because he created this condition, and he said we did not need melanin. He decided to make us without it. So that means I can fulfill the purpose and the plan that God has for my life with or without melanin in my hair, skin, and eyes. And because I can, you can too. Okay, I love y'all so much. I got to get back to church. Hope y'all went to church today. Okay, I'll see y'all later. Bye.